RNN Solar Day 2017 is brought to you by the following: Rhode Island College, Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, WB Mason Office Supplies, the 10th Annual Boston Green Fest, Clean Energy Development, Carolyn Sakonnet Vineyard, and the Arpin Group.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We are here live, Belcourt of Newport. It is Solar Day. It is a celebration, and we welcome to the celebration Carol Grant. She's the Commissioner of the Rhode Island Office of Energy Resources. Last time I saw you, we were putting solar on St. Rose here in Rhode Island. It was your first day.
First day on the job.
Did we get you up on the roof?
You tried.
All right.
The ladder was a little shaky.
It was. How about Eddie going up with the camera?
That was awesome.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Your thoughts about what you've heard so far today?
Well, this is a beautiful, first of all, happy summer solstice to everybody. And this is a beautiful day to be here celebrating the combination of preserving one of Rhode Island's treasures and looking to the future with clean energy. I think it's a great example of what's going on all across the state. As you said, we find Rhode Islanders in their businesses, their homes, their nonprofits, their churches, looking for ways to really work together to create a clean energy future. So it's an exciting time, and it's a great day to celebrate.
And get to that 100% level.
You got it.
One of the exciting things, Ken, right, we want to talk about is job creation.
Yes.
And we heard a little bit about it in the last segment, just a recent report. Give us some of your impressions of that report.
One of the great things, the governor announced in March 2 bold goals, as you know. One was that the state would get to 1,000 megawatts of clean energy, which was 10 times as much as we had on the day that she made the announcement. And at the same time, that we would double the number of clean energy jobs in the state, so that it is preserving the environment and driving the economic engine of a new industry that we think is very exciting. The report came out last month, just a few weeks ago, for 2017, and the exciting news is that there are 15,305 people working in clean energy jobs in Rhode Island.
That's a celebration.
It's the fastest growing job sector in our economy, as a matter of fact.
It is. It's 66% growth since 2014. So it's really exciting to see that, and people working in all kinds of jobs, good jobs, from energy efficiency to the very sophisticated work that Newport Renewables is doing here. So.
Yeah, as I travel around the country and talk to people on these national calls, I'm amazed at how far ahead of Rhode Island is the rest of the country, and even sometimes the rest of the world in a number of different programs. But in an earlier segment, I referenced two programs that I thought people should know about because sometimes they're buried. One is a Renewable Energy Fund, yes, which comes off of the utility charges, and also the funding, and again, that could go to solar and a number of other things, but also the funds from the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative auctions,
right,
which again goes to fund a lot of these programs.
Right. Now, as you referred to, RGGI is a regional program that we work with other states and have for several years worked with other states to figure out how to generate funds that can be used for clean energy, for efficiency. I will say our partners who are here from the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank are also helping us leverage all of those funds so that we can figure out financing so that businesses and cities and towns can come up with good solutions and can come up with creative ways to finance. Yeah.
This is where Rhode Island can be at least a national, if not a global model.
Absolutely.
Strategically tying together renewable energy programs, clean energy, with strategic financing programs.
Absolutely.
And we saw some of their success right down the road in Connecticut.
Yes.
But it gets to all of the different elements that have to come together: consumer demand, financing, right?
Yes.
And all of those elements that give a good return, that make sense both environmentally and economically. In addition to the success of wind and solar, we see more electrification happening. Changes in transportation in Rhode Island, and I've happily been a part of it. I just turned in my Leaf, and I'm going to have a little plug-in hybrid Mini pretty soon.
Congratulations.
But tell us about that, because I think that's a really important part of the story here.
I think it's a great part of the story. You're absolutely right that in addition to creating a clean, reliable, and affordable electric system, we also know that we need to get our transportation system to be emitting fewer greenhouse gases. So electrification of the transportation system is a hot topic right now in the power sector transformation, which is an effort that's underway at the Public Utilities Commission, the division, and OER, working together with, we've had, I think, 185 people working as stakeholders in thinking about how we can electrify.
And does that roll up into the big trucks, buses?
Interestingly, we're finding that both hydrogen fuel cells and electrification in the larger trucks is of great interest. And just last week, we hosted, at our office, we hosted a delegation from California who's leading the way on electrification.
And they have a lot of hydrogen.
And they do, and they're meeting with us, and again, states are collaborating, which is really exciting, to work together. And that's one of the reasons that the governor made sure last week that she reaffirmed her commitment to the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Absolutely.
And as
most states
working
have.
with other states, really to keep moving forward in a positive way.
I have an energy elephant in the room question,
Okay.
or issue, and it goes to
go.
the proper pricing of carbon. I look at carbon dividends, some people call it carbon pricing, and I know that it's a local issue. It probably has a regional and national solution better than local, but your thoughts on it?
You've said it really well. You beat me to it, Ken. I think that it's a really important conversation, and it's actually, I think in the last few days, some of the major global companies who have surprised people, some of the people in the oil and gas business, in their businesses have said we should really look at this as a national policy. I think most people who look at it believe that it needs to be either nationally or regionally. So it is very hard to implement on a state basis, and particularly a state with the size of Rhode Island. But we are very engaged in the conversations, and we think that out of RGGI, which you referenced earlier, we have some experience in putting a price and then figuring out how to best take advantage of that to really move to a cleaner future.
And that has been Senator Whitehouse's opinion, that he doesn't want to do it on a local basis?
I think it's many economists' opinion. I mean, I think
Yeah.
people that practically look at it and say in a state, it really creates more complications than if it's done on a broader basis and is scaled with the costs.
Even though we see, right, Vermont has tackled the issue in New England, and it's really getting to how competitive are different fuels.
Right.
Whether it's fossil fuel, whether it's clean energy, whether it's hydrogen. So to keep Rhode Island a leader, what else? What else can we do? What else can you do? What else can the governor do in incentives and programs and plans to continue to drive the bus this way?
We think about it every day, and I think
Good, we do too.
Good. I would say that the things that we are thinking about right now are really to accelerate the clean energy deployment with work like the work here today, and like the great work that Newport Renewables is doing on the roof of our building right now. So the state is leading by example with also
tell us more about that.
We have a project on the Capitol Hill complex, the 3 buildings
in Providence, Rhode Island,
right across from the State House. They are probably not as complicated as this, certainly newer buildings, but Stewart and his company have been, after an RFP was conducted, they've been installing a great array there that will be leading by example. And
is
in the
this
same
the
way
first
Belcourt
time
has.
for the state?
There are a few other smaller installations. This is one of the biggest, and we hope that one of the most visible installations. It won't be the last.
It's obviously the roofs of those 3 buildings are flat.
Yes.
What are the challenges and obstacles that you've come across with that installation?
Well, thanks to, again, the creativity of the people who work in this business, I think that we've found that we need to find people who know how to solve problems, because every building has its own challenges. So Newport Renewables ran into a few, and I'm sure they could tell you more than I can, because they've been great partners in identifying with us and saying we need to solve this, and then
the reason I bring that up is that there's a proliferation of solar installations on farmland, open land in the exurb areas.
Right.
And the thought is, if you're talking about smart growth, how do you drive that solar photovoltaic generation to the roofs in urban areas?
Well, I think that our programs really do provide both financing and, as you pointed out, we have several different ways that virtual net metering or other rooftop installations can be made. And the other thing is that the people who are in this marketplace, who have learned either in Massachusetts or in other jurisdictions, are coming into Rhode Island with what they have learned. So I think that they're working with customers to solve most of the problems pretty creatively. We also hope to continue to encourage places like landfills and brownfields to be places that we can deploy some solar.
We've seen a lot in Rhode Island. East Providence was a great success. Next time we get together, top of one of those roofs, right?
See you there.
It is good to see Rhode Island investing heavily. When we get back, we're going to pause just for a minute. We are going to bring the Honorable Henry F. Winthrop. He is the mayor and our host, and he's a wonderful guy, and it's good to catch up with him. And we will also have Kurt Ganga. He is the Director of Properties for the Preservation Society, Newport County. And we're going to answer that question, how do we extend this, right?
Great.
Across a lot of Newport. Give us a minute, we'll be right back on RNN.
Good job.
Thank you.
To maintain the historical integrity of Belcourt of Newport, the PV solar panels are installed in a way so they are hidden from the street level where they are undetected.